Okay, this is Monday Night 9 Ball again, and this is a first round match, and we'll have a quick look at the bracket. And it is Mr. Bill and Larry who's playing Tin and TheStubs, and it looks like a scratch match. And Bill and Larry have just won the first rack. Yep, it's scratch. And it looks like they got a ball in the break, obviously, because Bill's still at the table. However, they've came across a problem. He's clipped that 8 ball, and that stopped his shot in the 5. Let's see if we can get round that. He can't get round that side for a kick. He might have to try and jump the 6 and hit the rail and kick the 5 that way, but he's not going to have a lot of pace in the ball. So I'll be surprised if there's a lot of movement here. Yeah, it's ball in hand, no rail hit, and that's the problem with jumping a shot to try and play a kick. You just got no power left in the cue ball, so he might have been better using his time to look at a better way of trying to get there. It was tough to hit though, but it's another opportunity for Bill and Larry. And I think this is just a little bit awkward. I think Larry's maybe going to try and draw back and leave Bill on this 7 into the left middle as we look. No, he managed to play through. It was difficult to see whether he had a good enough angle there. But this should be fairly straightforward. Bill just needs to roll this in, and it's a slightly the wrong angle, but you can play this with inside English left hand side and just check the cue ball back, and it should be easy enough to do. Well, he had plenty on it. Got the cue ball right on the rail. So Bill and Larry head into a 2-0 lead, and Larry decides to pass turn so that Bill can break, and Bill gets a ball in the break, and it's the 2 ball that's gone down, and he's got Larry a shot in the 1 as well. 3's out in the open. All the balls are there for the taking, so it's the old cliche again, just join the dots, just get the cue ball into position where he's got a shot in the next ball. And this is an easy out for these guys. They're well capable for this, so it would really take a very bad error for them not to run this rack. Now he doesn't want to get too cute with this. If he puts too much on this, he might just run through and leave the long 6, or he tried to draw back, I think. Yeah, just sort of stunned it. Now this is where it could go wrong. When you start leaving balls at distances, your position's less likely to be guaranteed, but I mean the balls are in the open, so this is easy still. But that's what you should be trying to achieve all the time. Just try and get that cue ball under better control for better position. But in some cases it's better to just take your medicine and get on with it rather than trying to be too cute. And Bill and Larry are red hot favourites for this match, and it's surprising that that there's no handicap in this. So Tin and TheStubs have got fairly. In fact, the surprising thing is that the two of them are actually got higher ratings than Bill and Larry together, which is surprising to me. But nevertheless, the two of them are still capable of running a rack if they take their chance. So it's 3-0 to Bill and Larry. He just caught the edge of the 5. And that might have scuppered their chances there. But this is tough. But no doubt Bill's thinking about a better shot here, playing safe, just use the 5 for cover. And he's got it. And again, in case you've forgotten or you haven't seen any of the videos before, there is no butt angle help anymore when you're playing VP4 online, so it makes it more difficult to jump. Oh well, the Stubbs got lucky. He's managed to somehow kick the 5 in, and he's left his partner on the 1, so here's a good chance. And that's running at a nice pace. It's not too bad. Stubbs just want to soft draw this just to kill the cue ball, and that's fine. And Tin should do the same unless he wants to run through, but he might run. If he runs too far, he could get interfering with that 6 and 7 if he gets too much power on it. And that almost went wrong, but there's a nice angle in the 4. Get the cue ball off the side rail, and that needs to bounce a bit. That's perfect. Now these shots can go wrong because the shot you want to play is a draw, just to draw the cue ball back for the 7 in the same pocket, but you've got to be accurate, and when you don't have that accuracy, that's exactly what happens. When you start digging down in the cue ball, you will send it offline. Once you start moving the cue tip, you can put unwanted English on the cue ball, and as soon as they hit the jaws at that sort of pace, they're going to stay out, and that's a lesson to learn in Virtual Pool 4. It's always something you've got to be wary about. So that may well be Tin and the Stubbs' chance in this rack. It's just a case of mopping up for Bill and Larry now. And Bill finishes off with the 9, and Bill and Larry go into a 4 racks to 0 lead, and it's a race to 7. And remember, this tournament's double elimination, so the losers of this match will go to the loser's side of the bracket, and they'll have a second opportunity to progress. So your tournament's not over if you have 1 loss. And I think that, well, I think I heard 3 balls dropping there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get 6 left. Now, does that 1 ball pass the 2? It looks a tight squeeze. Oh no, the 9 ball's in the way. Larry's going to go for this cut. Yeah, very difficult to read that shot, but he's almost got away with it because this is a really ambitious cut to try and send this over to the pocket. It will go. Oh, but he got it the other way. That's excellent. And he's got a shot for Tin on the 2. Now this has got enough angle to generate enough power to get that cue ball just up the table for the 3. But there's obstacles in the way here that could cause problems. Well, which is probably why he tried to go the other way, and that has sent the 2 ball offline. Where's the cue ball going? Where's it going? It's scratching. Well, that is a golden lifeline for Tin and the Stubs there. Now they've really got to get this rack. And I would think the best thing here is to get the cue ball through for this 7 in the right middle. Well, he's totally taken his eye off it because he's too focused on where he's going to put the cue ball. He forgot the 3. And what's Larry thinking? Is he going for a cut here? Yep, and he gets it as well. And it's not looking good for Tin and the Stubs. This is the important ball, and getting the cue ball across for that 8. That's fine. Nothing fancy, just keep it simple. The only thing that's slightly worrying here is the angle. Larry taking this into the middle. I think he's trying to take it into the middle, or he's contemplating it. It looks like it, but he needs to watch the in off. Yeah, that's what was worrying Larry there. I think he was concerned he might have went in off. So again, how many times are they going to get opportunities? I'm sure they didn't think they would still be at the table here. So Tin's got the 8. He's got his partner a fairly straightforward 9. He just needs to roll this in dead weight and let the pocket take it. And it goes in. And they get their first rack on the board, so it's Bill and Larry leading by 4 racks to 1. Now, how close is that 1 ball? Well, that'll probably just drop in if he just feathers the 1. Don't think he's going to have much of a shot in the 2 though. No, maybe it was too close. But he's got a second prize. He's got the cover on the 1 ball. And keep your eye on that 2 and 9 ball down there, because they're set up as a potential combination shot. Bill digging out the jump cue. And he's got success there. I think he's almost, I think you can see the edge of the 1. Just a wee bit of swerve on the cue ball. Now he could get really lucky here. Well, he's maybe trying to kick it, but he could get really lucky here and start moving balls down this end. He might get lucky in the 9, you never know. Well, if he's going to hit that 1, he needs to jack the butt end of the cue up a bit to let that English take hold. What he looks as if he's playing opposite English. What's he doing? Well, your guess is as good as mine as to what he actually played there. I'm totally befuddled and bewildered. So it's ball in hand to Larry. Well, I can already see the path out here, because Bill's just going to stop the cue ball really, and Larry will more or less do the same for the 3 to leave the 4 on. Well, he started the cue ball travelling, and again, that's something you don't want to do unless you really have to. Okay, he's got it nicely on the 3, but that's not the shot I would have played. This is plain sailing here. Bill sinks the 9. It's now going to 5 racks to 1. And we've got a bit of an audience in here. We've got 8 people in. Well, that's 4 including the other 4 who are actually playing in the game. Oh, that's a bad one. You didn't want that. I think it's a bit of a long shot to play a jump shot as well, but Larry's going for it. And again, he's almost shooting blind there. It's going to take these guys a little while to get used to figuring out the jump shot again, not having that angle guide. So again, Stubbs and Tin have got ball in hand. Now what's the simplest shot here? The simplest shot is just to roll that 4 in, get the cue ball squeezed past the 7 so he's got a path to the 5 down to the corner, which he's got. And likewise for the Stubbs, roll the 5 in and get the cue ball not quite parallel with the 6 but down past the middle pocket certainly. But he's kissed the 9. And I don't know whether he's just taking his eye off the ball because he's obviously more concerned about where the cue ball's going. And these are a couple of bad mistakes, and having said that, Bill's followed up with another one. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, a full ball snooker, so this has got to be judged well to try and kick this in. It'll be a good shot if he does, but there's a reasonable margin of error here. I'm not convinced that's the right angle. No, he's way too short. So it's back in Bill and Larry's hands. Larry at the table, and this can just be a wee bit of a fiddly shot, this, but again because the 5's in the corner, just judging the connection, that's perfect. And just a nice angle. Bill can just stun the 6 in or just run through to the rail. He's got his choices, or do a wee soft draw shot, but he's just run through to the rail. And what's the angle like on the 7? There's a slight angle there, so Larry chose the simplest way, and that was to draw it back across. And Bill will just put this cue ball on the side rail for Larry to tidy up. And so Larry takes his partner and himself to the hill and lead by now 6 racks to 1. And no luck the break. There is an edge at this one ball showing. The Stubbs could cut this in, and he's got it. Now whatever Tin plays here, this is going to be a tough shot, because the cue ball's running down the table or up the table as we look, and there's also a risk of an in off as well with the angle on this 2 ball, but he's managed to get it in off the edge of the pocket, but no luck, not enough pace in the cue ball. And this will be a good shot, not only if he hits it, but if he's trying to cut it in. And again, this butt angle is causing problems for the guys. So this is Bill and Larry's chance to put an end to this match, which again, looking at the balls, there is no excuse for them. They really should be running this out without any blunders. Now, that isn't perfect, but he should just run this in. Cue ball will come up to this left hand corner here, and it needs to run round, which it's done. And the 7 goes in. Larry's perfectly placed on the 8, just a soft draw to draw it across for the 9, or even a stun. It was his preference. And so Bill finishes off the match, and Bill and Larry go through to the second round in the winner's side, and they beat Tin and the Stubbs by 7 racks to 1.